Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Tutor by Andrea Chapin. The year is 1590 and Catherine de Lisle is happy with her life at Luffenwall Hall. Queen Elizabeth is still unwavering in her persecution of English Catholics, and Catherine is shocked when the family priest is found murdered on the side of the road. The de Lisle family is adrift in household turmoil, but during all of this, a new schoolmaster by the name of William Shakespeare arrives. Catherine immediately falls head over heels in love with this intelligent and flirtatious newcomer. Catherine finds herself as Will's new muse, and she spirals into an obsession that she may not be able to come out of. Ooh, oh boy, you guys. I need to stick in Shakespeare in Love. I picked up this book thinking I was about to read something fairly similar to Shakespeare in Love, and that didn't happen. So yeah, that's why I say I need to stick in Shakespeare in Love now. You guys, Jesus Christ. William Shakespeare was the most unlikable character I have ever read. Oh my god, in this book, Shakespeare was super annoying, super unlikable. Even when he's flirting with Catherine, I found him super unlikable. And let me just straight out say this, the main character, Catherine, she was an idiot. Without spoiling anything, I was able to predict pretty much the entire end of this book, and I think that's why I found Shakespeare so annoying and why I thought Catherine was such an idiot, because of how predictable the ending was. This novel had such a good premise. It's taking place during Queen Elizabeth I's reign, when the strife between the Catholics and the Protestants is at its high. And that is what this book should have focused on, to be quite honest. Andrea Chapin opens this book up in a very interesting way. Like I said in the synopsis, the de Lisle family priest is found murdered on the side of the road. And also, once this murder happens, Catherine's uncle, who is a devout Catholic, he takes off to another country to avoid persecution. And that basically leaves Catherine and her relatives alone at home as they're going through all of this turmoil and hysteria. Like I said, I think the whole Catholic persecution should have been the big core of this book. I mean, I guess Shakespeare still could have worked in the context of the story, but I felt like Shakespeare was a bit out of place. And also, speaking of the de Lisle family that Catherine is a part of, I got really confused with who was who in the household. There was so many characters, too many characters in this book to kind of follow. I often lost track of who was married to who, whose child was who was having an affair with who. But that being said, even though I was confused about all the family members, some of my favorite parts of this book was all of the family drama that was occurring. So yeah, not only did the book need to probably focus primarily on the Catholic persecution, it also needed to focus more heavily on all the family drama that was going on because of the persecution. So that moves me on over to William Shakespeare. What to say? I'm so conflicted with Shakespeare. In some ways, I often felt like he was out of place and unneeded in this novel. The novel could have perfectly worked without him. If I was to go through this book and rip out every page that Shakespeare was in, the book would probably be okay without him. And once I did finish this book and I got to the final page of this book, I just found myself kind of sitting there like, what was the point of Shakespeare? What did he even provide to this narrative? I mean, the only thing that he kind of did in the narrative was mostly just wrapped around Catherine's story and Catherine's development as a character and everything that she's going through. But other than that, he still just didn't really need to be there. But that being said, like I said, I was conflicted with Shakespeare's placement in this book, but at the same time, I kind of liked this idea of a young and brash, flirtatious Shakespeare who is on the search for a new muse, which he finds in Catherine. And another interesting thing about this book, it's kind of an origin story to Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis poem. So yeah, I found all that interesting, and I like the idea of how Catherine was playing into that and her being the inspiration for Venus and Adonis. Something else that I disliked about this book, maybe it was just me, but I often found that this book had a lot of unanswered questions and loose ends. It's like Andrea Chapin does kind of wrap up a fair amount of stuff going on in this book, but she literally does it near the end of the book in like one chapter. But I still found myself going, well, what about this or that? And yeah, I feel like I never got answers for certain things, certain plots. Overall, I would say that I was disappointed with this novel. I was very much looking forward to this book. I just liked the idea of it. Like I said, I was under the impression that it kind of had Shakespearean love vibes going on with it, which it didn't really. This novel wasn't horrible. This review probably sounds like this book is absolutely horrible, but it's not really horrible. It's just kind of her layout. Andrea Chapin's layout of this book's a bit frustrating and confusing. Andrea Chapin's writing is actually very beautiful, very descriptive at certain points, and I really felt like she knew her history. But I think where Andrea Chapin was probably the weakest was definitely her character development. I think that's what my biggest issue was. So I'm not sure how to recommend this book. I mean, if you love Tudor historical fiction, then by all means pick this book up. But I almost want to say maybe pick this book up at a bookstore or see if you can find a used copy of it, because I don't know if it's worth the full hardback price. So that's it for my review on The Tutor. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have you guys read The Tutor? Do you plan on reading The Tutor? Just let me know your thoughts down below. So that's it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this book review, you may like these other book reviews. Bye guys.